Technical difficulties. Give us a moment. Jesus. There we go. Guess I should have set it up better before going live. Good morning. Happy to just share a little moment. Of course, the screen doesn't really capture the immensity of the sky and the horizon. Good morning. Pelicans flying out over the sea. I've never been around pelicans before. They're big flocks, or whatever their collective nouns are, of pelicans around here. I don't know what you call this. They kind of surf the waves. They fly along the wave looking for a fish to snatch out of the ocean in the cresting of waves, or no, in the folding of waves. And I haven't seen it, but one of my friends was watching out to see when I first arrived here. And he said that he saw a pelican flying along a wave and got his wing caught and taken under. And of course it's hard for a lot of us to imagine the mechanics of having wings on our bodies and having bird bones, which are quite thin. I remember when he told me that he saw this pelican getting caught in the wave So imagine you're moving in mid-flight along the surface of the ocean, and your fingers, the finger feathers of your wings catch in the wave, and you just get tumbled into the surf. He said the pelican came back up. I don't know if he was able to just take off and fly again. We saw a pelican, same friend, a couple days later, staying at one of the hotels. It was very strange. He was inside the fence of the hotel, just staring at us with his big long face. Aloha. Exactly, aloha. I have to say, even being in such a beautiful place, I have, of course, had periods of loneliness in this strange period of isolation we're all going through. And to be fair, I don't know, I always go through periods of loneliness no matter where I am in my travels. And I always feel like the beauty of life is really best when it's shared with people. So sometimes I lament being in such a beautiful place and not being able to share it. I think it's funny that I can Facebook Live and see all these people's faces pop up, people saying hello. And I can just be like, oh yeah, right now you're sharing a moment. I mean, maybe you're only watching the live video for 10 seconds. I tend to not watch Facebook Live videos very long, but it's still kind of a nice feeling. Like people are popping in and looking, and they're just like, oh, I could be looking at some news stories right now, or cat videos, or I could be looking at the sea. Dominic, as he talks to us, sitting naked on a chair, a little cement patio outside of his little room, little cement patio outside of his little cement room, looking out over this beautiful view that I get to see every day. Good morning. Anybody who's watching this right now, can you tell me um, what the video quality looks like? Is it just a pixelated mess, or can you see the waves pretty well? It's very soothing. Well, that's what I was hoping. Okay, great. Very happy to hear that. Lots of love, Christine. Thank you very much. Thank you, Michael. Good morning. I'm glad it's coming through clearly. Just have a moment to stare at the sea. I've been waking up every morning like an hour before sunset, or sometimes more, which is not my regular life, but the waves are loud here, so they wake me up. And it's not a bad way to start the day to just stare at the waves, which is what I do most mornings. I get out of bed and I just stare at the waves and I watch the sunrise, and then go do qigong for an hour or two, 3, until the sun gets too hot. It's still quite an amazing world, isn't it? That wherever you are in the world, if you happen to be staring at your phone or computer at that moment, you can look out from a hillside in southern Mexico at a little cove in the Pacific coast, wherever you are in the world. Good morning and love to you, love to you all. say it's very nice to, when I look at the screen, I look at the sky, I look at the sea, and I of course can see more of the sea than you can see, and I can see more of the sky than you can see, but it's nice when I look at the phone and I see all these faces of people that I know in different ways. Little icons of their faces and their names. It's a nice feeling. Appreciate love. Christine, I did a meditation a few weeks ago. I know it was before the quarantine stuff, so it must have been early April, so a month ago. Sorry, early March. I did a meditation where again, very often when I've traveled and I've seen beautiful things and I've been alone, I've felt like a tinge of sadness at not being able to share the beauty, and I've imagined some way of getting that beauty to that person. And of course, throughout my life, my sense of time and space have changed, but I've used various imaginations of connecting with people, friends, lovers, family, and sending them the beauty. I mean, now it's kind of funny that I can just put my supercomputer screen device on a tripod and stream to anyone who will happen to look. But I did a meditation a month ago where I encouraged anybody who wanted to imagine sitting in my body and use all my senses, like a portal, like a terminal, remote viewing through my body. So I just sat there and I imagined opening up. I created an event and I let people say if they were going to come or not. And if they said they were going to come to the event, I just imagined that they were in my body, and I would take time going through all the people who said they were going to show up. I think it was only 6 people, so it wasn't a lot. And took time letting them, imagine them sitting in my body and sharing the love and the beauty. It was a sunset from the other hill you can see from here. And it felt really good, and some of the people that were part of it said that they really felt it and saw it, because I had different connections with all of them. So when Christine commented that she remembered that feeling and she could feel it now, take a moment. And so I guess I could say that to all of you. If you have a mind and a heart to do so, you can just imagine feeling my body sitting here. Naked in a chair. Absorbing the beauty, practicing gratitude. Doing what I can to share the good fortune I have. Loving it now. You didn't miss it, Christine. You're here right now. Good job. And just to be a technophile geek for a second, I just find it amazing that I can talk very quietly in a relaxed voice and the microphones are picking me up and you can hear me. That's just mind-blowing to me. I'm glad you can hear the ocean. I hope, you can hear the ocean. Of course you can hear the ocean. Where is that? There's the sun. Thank you, Benjamin. So I'm going to take a moment to lead a little meditation that I don't know if Christine's still on, but if any of you know the 5-element creation cycle of the virtuous emotions, then you can think of it in terms of that. But I assume that most of you don't know what that means. So I just want you can keep your eyes open or closed, but just tune into your emotions. And I'm going to use words, obviously, to talk about the emotions, but I want you to do your best to feel them. And when I say these emotions, you can think of things that might bring them up. But if you have a relationship with your emotions where you can just conjure them, then I just want you to just conjure them. But again, the importance here is the feeling, not the thought, not the word. So just take a moment and smile into your body like it's your friend. Like your body is a place of peace and happiness, and joy and wisdom. And take a moment to feel happiness and love for yourself. Say your own name and say, I love you. I love you, Dominic. And just feel a little ripple of appreciation for what it means to give yourself love and to love someone, even if it's just yourself. And take that appreciation and reflect upon the good things in your life, even in these trying times, for there are always trying times. Take a moment to be thankful, to feel gratitude for the good things in your life. And then bring up a feeling of safety. Understand that on one level, some eternal level, right now everything is okay. That in the whole work of time, everything comes to balance. And knowing that to be true, even if you think in the eternal frame of Big Bang, eventually it'll all crush down together into one point and everything will become one, whatever your cosmology is. Understand that at some point in time, everything will be okay. And therefore that's accessible now. And just try to feel it. Safety and a peace and groundedness. That you can trust that everything is okay and everything will be okay. Just see if you can relax and open into that feeling of being okay. And feel that there's an aspect of yourself that is in integrity with everything in the universe, regardless of what your beliefs and actions are. There's a part of you that's doing exactly what you should be doing, what you were made to do, what you were born to do, however you want to think of that. They're in integrity, in alignment with what's right and what's good in the universe. We all have different roles to play, and the entire story of existence is too complex for any one perspective to understand wholly. So feel it, a sense of courage, bravery that comes from knowing you're doing the right thing. Again, it can be an action you actually think about, or just the sensation of feeling courage and bravery. Like a white, shiny, metallic armor. Bring that peace. You can go inside of yourself, again, not dependent on anything external, and connect with a sense of silence, underneath the sounds of the waves, the sounds of my voice, behind all of the sounds in the room you're in, wherever you are, there's silence. The field in which all these sounds are happening. Connect into that silence. And again, allow yourself to rest down into a sense of peace that's accessible to you at any moment. Think of all the people in the world in their various situations, celebrities in their country homes, politicians freaking the fuck out because of the situation that mars their name in history that they had nothing to do with. Maybe they did. But think of all the people doing the best they can. The ones who are scared and the ones who are worried, the ones who are sad. And just extend some kindness to them, yourself included. Bring up a sense of wanting them to be well. Anyone you can think of. I know there's some people that it's very hard for you to think of wanting them to be well. But just extend an olive branch, as it were. A bowl of fruit, a feeling of generosity. I want you to be well. I want you to be happy. I'm sorry you're suffering. And see if you can have that soft smile of compassion, kindness, and generosity. Remember, if you ever have an impulse to be generous, if there's ever just the kind of tiniest, like, maybe I should tip that waitress, or maybe I should help that person carry those packages, or maybe I should say something nice to that person just because I feel it. It's always a good thing to act on. Small impulses of generosity. And then you can return to yourself and be like, oh yeah, I love myself and I'm grateful for the good things in my life. And I know everything will be okay. Everything's okay on a certain level. I'm safe, I'm fed, I can breathe. I have technology, it's all right. It's all right. Somehow I'm doing the right thing and somehow I have the courage to get through this moment, this time in history, this day, this hour. You have the courage and the bravery and the strength to get through it. And you can access peace at any time if you remember. Find the stillness and the silence, no matter what situation you're in. And that you have the ability to be kind, generous, and compassionate to yourself, to all the beings in the world, and any being you may come in contact with. It's a nice little emotional exercise to do in the morning when you wake up, or any time throughout the day. But now the sun is up, and it's turning this frothy ocean bay to gold. And there are two nice young men down on the beach that are probably waiting for me. If they're awake, I assume they are. And we're gonna go do some physical qigong, and everything go black. Now you can still see it. Boop. Actually, I can turn it around for a second. Da-da-da-da-da. hi. Just like, can you even see me? I can't see anything. The sun's shining in my face, and it's shining up the ocean. Hi, I love you. This is the place I'm living. It's a little cement shack thing under a house destroyed by a hurricane. But it's got a beautiful view, right? I'm very grateful to be here. And I'm really grateful to be able to share a little bit of this beauty, even though it's through a screen, which is not at all the same. I can't see the screen anymore, so I don't know what. But whatever part of the world you're in, or whatever part of the day it's in, I hope you have a good day, and you are having a good day, and that you sleep well when you get there. And that all of us use some of our countless opportunities to do something good for ourselves and for anyone else we can possibly touch in this period of isolation. Love you. Good morning. Bye-bye.